So people deserve to know about the man himself. Looking at your catalogue, I can see you've got a lot of music that's supported by a lot of DJs that I look up to and a lot of producers. So we've got Louis Vega, Pablo Fiera, Jim Starr, David Morales. How does it feel to have, those guys take your music that you've worked on and play it to the masses out there?
For me, it's definitely a very good thing to see, and I'm very appreciative of it because, firstly, it's people that I've also been looking up to. I've been listening, it's either to their sets or I've been listening to their music, and now seeing that move from me being someone who's learning from them, and now seeing them playing my stuff and playing it at places that some of them I haven't even gotten there, so it's nice to see, it just gives, it also gives hope to me that if the music can be able to reach there, then for me, the job is almost complete, because it means people are able to relate to what I was doing, and not even knowing my craft, knowing me or knowing anything, but they're just feeling the music and everything. So it definitely is a very amazing feeling for me.
I can only imagine, man. I can just imagine yourself just seeing the videos that pop up. Yeah, that's awesome. And I see you've got a track in 2021 you co-produced with Femba, the Song of Freedom. I know that track very well. That is an awesome track, by the way. So that is a great track. And I see it's gone past 1 million streams, so congratulations on that. Like, how was that feeling collaborating with Femba, who is literally like considered to you, your peer? How was that collaborating with such an icon?
Yeah, it's amazing because with me and Themba, we've had like a very long-term relationship, where I'm learning from him and he's forever trying to teach me, and and we linked up quite a while ago, and to be able to finally work on something that something of that caliber. For me, it was such an amazing experience, and plus I think it's the first song where I'm actually not only on production but also on vocals, which was something that I never thought would happen. Yeah, I never really thought. I was just trying it out to say, okay, if maybe I am to get someone who's who can sing, it was just an idea. So to just awesome. Make it official and say, okay, cool, let's just run with it. Yeah, at first I was a little bit unsure, but yeah, it keeps on surprising me all the time.
I love that.
Yeah, it was such an amazing experience.
No, that is awesome. And then moving forward into, I guess it was 2022, and it was the link up with Sondela, musician for ICU.
Yeah.
That was another one. Like how, again, another icon I sort of consider for Afro house music, with just beautiful melodies and just amazing drum lines and stuff. It's just great music. And so, how was that collaboration? How did you feel about that one?
Sometimes it feels, a lot of it feels a little bit unreal because it's people that I've been looking at from afar, thinking, admiring the music, admiring the talent that they have, and now to finally be able to, okay, cool, let's work on something and to be able to have, I'm sweating, I'm sorry, and to be able, I'm in a sweat box, but to be able to have like,
it's cold over here.
Yeah. Oh, how I wish.
Yeah.
But to be able to have a product that is I don't even know how to put it, but to be able to work on music, and it's not even one song. It's not even one song. It's been music that there's been a lot of music that we've been doing together. And making sure that just linking up, and he's such a positive guy with such a very dope positive energy.
That's
So
man, I
whenever,
love that.
the day we linked up to put in some work, it just made sense because both parties were in the same spirit, and we really wanted to work, and the energy was so great. Having to work with also Tandazo and having her put on vocals, it's just that whole project that to me just made sense. It made a lot of sense.
It did. It was a great song, and it still is. I still play that in my rotation. It's another great song again. And so leading up to this year, the latest track we released, The Magnificent Dance, it's a different type of Afro track than we hear from what we've been hearing over the past year, but I must say, it surprised me when I heard it, and I love it. It's something different. So tell me how you got into creating that song then.
If I am to explain it, I'd say before I worked on that song, there've been a lot of songs that I've been trying out, and I actually did a lot of listening. I decided to not produce for some time and just went out to clubs and just listened to everything that was being played there. And obviously, we in South Africa, the Amapiano is a very huge space. It's a very big space this side. So there was a lot to learn. There was a lot that I had to learn. There was a lot that I had to unlearn. And for me, being out there and going to all of these places, experiencing new sounds, that was the birth of Magnificent Dance. Actually. That was the birth of Magnificent Dance because I had my own sound. And immediately I started listening to what the other Amapiano cats were doing, what everyone else was doing. I was able to absorb also, and present it in a very unique way that will make sense, not only on the Amapiano space, but that will also make sense on the Afro house space. And also on the deep house space,
Definitely.
There was definitely a lot of learning there, and by
it's very
I don't
bouncy.
know, and I didn't even know it was gonna come out like that. It's always the songs that you least expect that will do something.
I'm telling
that you're
you,
like,
man.
this, but the response was really amazing. It was really magnificent, I should say.
Yeah, man, it's amazing to see how versatile that you have become across types of Afro house music, which you can incorporate and do. And it's just tips the scale, seeing the fact that you can blend the Amapiano deep house sound in with like an Afro house kind of style is just, it just speaks volumes and testaments to how good you are when it comes down to producing. So I commend that highly because it is a really diverse track, and I really like it because it's not familiar. So when you hear something that's not really familiar, it becomes like, oh, okay.
How was your? I would like to ask, how was your first reaction? Like when the minute you heard it play, and where did you hear it, and how did you feel?
So I'm good friends with sort of like, not super good friends, but I know Seth Combo. So he emailed it out to me, and I was obviously like listening to it, and obviously the name came up, Thakzin, and I see the name popping around online. It was popping up online on my streams and my feed, so I was like interested, and I was seeing like a Oscar dance. That's when I was interested. I was like, okay, what is this track? It sounds like Afro house, but everyone's like vibes in not Afro housey to it. It's like Amapiano. So I got it through, and then I was sitting in my like studio, which I had the speakers on loud, and it came through, and I kind of walked out of the room to go and get a drink, and I came straight back in like, wow. So it was.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like,
so it was more of a nice feeling, more of I can listen to this. Literally added it to my phone, so it's part of my playlist now, so I'm glad I've got it. So I want to talk more about like yourself and your identity. Really, I want to know more about like the Thakzin. I can see that you're of South African and Mozambican descent, which is obviously where you get the sort of the musical strength from, and that you know you'll come from a family of musicians, your dad and your uncle specifically. I just wanted to know, like, you know, what made you get into music, and what made you know that music was your calling.
Music has always been part of my life. It's always been in my life. The biggest influencer in this music thing, the person that influenced me to, you know, to even start and understand what music is was my father. Was my dad. My father used to be a keyboard player and a drums.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. So also it's been that where he used to just call me and just play, bring along CDs, you know, bring CDs and say it could be a jazz artist and say this is a jazz artist. Whenever I'm chilling with my friends, play song 5, 6, you know, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Just listen
I
to
could
it.
imagine. Yeah.
You know, so that's where everything brewed. That's where my musical thing came from. You know, from the music that my father used to plug me into, and also the music that I used to listen to while I'm just growing up.
Of course.
You know, it was a variety of different music. My father usually listened to jazz. My mother used to listen to gospel. My sister listened to R&B. So all of these influences together, they made the person that I am now.
That's what I like. That's what I like, because I grew up on a lot of like R&B and soul, like especially like a lot of like Afrobeat and, you know, African music with the drums and stuff. So I know all of that, like the inspiration where music comes from and stuff, and it's awesome to see. And you know, so talk to me more about, you know, the Sangoma tribe and, you know, the Sangoma ritual. For our listeners as well, because it seems like that is a massive influence on a lot of your music. So just give us, the people who really adore Afro House, an insight into, you know, what the Sangoma rituals are, and, you know, how those influence you and where a bit of that came from.
The Sangoma ritual, you know, it's a spiritual thing, firstly. It's a spiritual thing. How I just link the music with the Sangoma rituals, and this is how I link it. It's a very spiritual thing, spiritual healing, rather I should say, spiritual healing. I heal music through I heal people through the music and through the elements that come in, and it's just vibrations and energies dying around this. So same, hence is why I reference it also with the Sangoma, and because the Sangoma is a traditional healer, you know. So that's how I link it. I see myself as a traditional healer through the music, you know, where I enter into inside people's spirits. We cannot see it, but you can only feel it, you know. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's how I relate to that.
Okay, cool. No, that's just that. For me, that's just good insight. It's nice to hear, because I'm a lot about the vibrations. I'm a lot about, you know, the healing, the spiritual side of life, and, you know, a lot of green energy plants, you know, just to keep, you know, the spirit high. So I get all of that, and the fact that's in your music, it's just making me more of a fan. It's just, what can you say? Like, you literally just like similar to myself. What can I? Literally exactly like myself. And so in regards to, apart from producing, you also DJ. So what were your, you know, main influences into getting to DJ? Like, I see here that you were like sneaking out when you were like 13 to go to pubs and DJ and stuff. So, you know, what was I can see it was definitely part of your growing up. So what was your major influence to get into like DJing, for you to get out and sneak around like that, bro?
I used to. There was a local radio station this side that used to play. They used to be DJs every Friday, and it would be 5 p.m. and another DJ on another radio station at 6 p.m. do SARS and stuff. So.
Yeah.
The DJing thing, that's where it came from, because I used to listen to a lot of Kent, DJ Kent from.
I know DJ Kent.
Yeah, listen to a lot of DJ Shimza also.
Yeah.
And I'll just mainly get inspired and wonder, how are these people doing all of this thing? So, or I just, one day I just got a software program and I started.
Yeah. In regards to like the DJing, do you want to take the DJing further, or do you want to sort of take or just coincide both and just go on a journey like that? Because I can see you've already started this journey, and this journey that you're on is very sort of balanced, and it's very spiritual, and it's very it's very relaxed. It's not forced, because every time something new comes from you, it's like organic, and it's never coming through, like very harsh, or it's never coming through strong where you're like, well, it's always very, wow, Thakzin's done another release, and it's just elevating you slowly. And so for me, it's sort of like, how do you see yourself going forward as a DJ and a producer? Where would you like to see your music take you?
For me, it's wherever it leads, I'm a very
I like that.
I feel like, if, like I said, we spoke about this earlier, where sometimes I'm forever surprised that my song is playing at a place so far that I've never even imagined that it would reach. It would reach. So same even with this whole DJing and production thing. I just want it to take me as further as it can, and for me to be able to experience all of these cultures. If I was able to touch souls at places where I've never been, what more when I get to these places, and then I will be able to expand and touch other dimensions and other places and people, other places, So for me, the whole DJing and production makes sense, because I get to really also experience the feeling that people get when they listen to the music. So it links with the DJ thing, being able to also see by myself, Plus the DJing came first, yes, I'm a producer, but the DJing light came first to me, the DJ first before I became a producer. So both elements matter so much to me, because they shape basically who Thakzin is, I don't think I don't see myself surviving without DJing. I don't see myself surviving without producing music, but that's how we're feeling right now. I don't know in the future how everything is going to be, but
Oh, you'll be fine, bro. You'll be fine, bro. I promise you, you'll be fine. You're too good not to be fine, man. Honestly, your music speaks absolute volumes, bro. Honestly, like that's coming from someone who listens to practically Afro House every day and is in the scene every day with my label, artists, talking to them. Your music is good, bro. I promise you, it is good. I want to talk about your 2023. What's coming up for Thakzin in 2023?
Oh, so much, so many releases coming up. Some still in the confirmation stages.
Okay, cool.
Some really confirmed. So it looks as if 2023 is going to be a very busy year. This year we never really dropped a lot of music, but we were dropping, but we're working on shaping and getting this train moving properly, So 2023, definitely a lot of releases that you guys are going to need to look out for.
Yes.
And with me, yeah, I don't like. You'll see. You'll hear.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I was trying to get a little bit out of you. You're keeping your cards close. I like it. So don't worry. I'll wait because I'm always interested, man. It's great to hear that you're flying far and you want to collaborate. But I'm looking at listening to your mix, and I can see that there was a few tracks on there from Moo and Joe. So now I'm interested more. Looking at that, is how do you feel about Moo and Joe? Is there like a collaboration coming up? Are you working with them and down the line?
So dope, man. Moo and Joe is so dope because he's so dope. There's this song of his that I got plugged into, which earlier that made me fall in love with his music, and I think that's where we started also linking up with them and his team.
Awesome.
I love what you do, and then they're like, oh man, and also the music that you've been creating, we're also vibing. Let's work on something. So there's definitely something that comes out on the Kalama records.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting.
Joe's awesome. Like when they came and he's dropped a few tracks. I've been interested. He's a great producer, I must admit, and I can also see. I remember.